Good morning, my loves. And so, a German Shepherd, a Doberman, and a house cat all died and went to heaven. I know it's sad, but that's the story. And this is not heaven like we think of in Unity, but more the conventional idea of heaven. And so all three faced God, who wanted to know what they believed in. The German Shepherd said, "I believe in discipline and training and loyalty to my master." And God said, "Good, sit here on my right." "Doberman, what do you believe in?" asked God. And the Doberman answered, "I believe in love, care, and protection of my master." "Aha," said God, "you may sit to my left." Then God looked at the cat and asked, "And what do you believe in?" The cat replied, "I believe you are sitting in my seat." So that's one explanation of order. Each one expressed their own sense of order, including, "I think you're in my seat." There is an innate order to our lives, to all of our lives. For God is the organizing principle in our lives. God, Spirit, divine love is the organizing principle in our lives. And through acknowledging this principle and affirming our role in the outpicturing of order, we become an active participant, able to adjust and accommodate shifting circumstances in our world. For those circumstances are always shifting, aren't they? They're always shifting. We here at Unity of the Keys over the past couple of years have become masters of circumstances shifting. We could have held on, we could have dug in, we could have fought the fight, resisted and complained, but we shifted, we accommodated, we adapted, probably more than we ever would have previously conceived possible. And some things have truly shifted for the good, for our good. We were discussing just the other day how this shift has allowed us to stay connected and for members of our community to remain active members of our community wherever they live or wherever they travel. And that had never been available before, to be an active member living in North Florida or Central Florida or Canada or Maine or New Mexico or wherever our members travel or live, New York, New Jersey. We also talked the other day about how our Unity prayer service, the service that Aaron, Andes, and Deborah Butler lead every Sunday morning at 10:30, has been going on for years and years and years. Our beloved Reverend Evelyn always led that prayer service, that Silent Unity prayer service, for 15 minutes in the prayer room. Our attendance is more consistently greater now than it was previously, because we have members that join us via Zoom to be part of that wonderful prayer service. So we, you and I, are proof positive of divine order. We are that. We are the outpicturing of the concept of mind, idea, and expression. We call that the creative process, the definition of order. We are the expression outwardly of that order. For divine order is never a preordained or imposed condition or set of predetermined outcomes. That is not how we see order in our lives. Order is a principle, and we see it present everywhere in our world. Nature reveals order perhaps more perfectly than anywhere else, more obviously. And the more attuned we are to order, the greater our spiritual capacity to orderly action. Last week we looked at divine guidance, sometimes called out of the blue, the wonderful, surprising, divine ideas that flow from us, flow from within us out when we are attuned to our divine nature, our inner selves. Well, divine order assists us, supports us in moving those creative thoughts, those divine ideas that we hold in our mind, which we may call guidance, move them into practice, into the manifest world, move them from concepts into that which we can see and hold and experience. Divine order is a power, one of our 12 powers. We call it divine because God is the organizing principle found in the structure, the pattern, and the sequence inherent in all that is, all that exists, and all that is created. We are all fully human and fully divine. And the more we attune to our divine identity, realizing we are one with the divine, one with all that is, the more readily we increase our innate capacity for spiritual divine order. For we want to be an active participant. Rather than believing things are happening to us, we shift that thought and choose instead to believe that things are happening for us. And with this shift in mindset, we are empowered to move from victimhood to spiritual partnership. We are able to make that mental adjustment, that change in thought, to continue to evolve and mature spiritually, and to accept our role as divine beings. We affirm, by the power of order, I am capable of orderly thought and action. I easily adjust thought and action in response to shifting circumstances. I am ever evolving spiritually. Orderly thought and action flow from a mind that is centered and grounded in spirit. And so the more time that we spend in prayer and in meditation, the more grounded we are, the more our mind is centered in spirit. We think creatively. We're more aware of the infinite divine ideas springing forth from within us. We recognize them as new, different, and worthy of being pursued. And when this happens, we might hold that idea for a while, that creative thought that's come to us. We may think about it, consider it. We may pray upon it. We may perhaps take that thought with us into meditation. And if the idea falls away, perhaps the timing was not yet right for its expression, or the idea is not fully formed. When the idea persists, we know we are to move forward and allow the idea to flourish and to blossom. Perhaps blossom into something that we were not yet ready to fully envision, for ideas can take on a life of their own. I know you've experienced that. We've all seen this. The key for me is to not be too invested in the outcome. Allow it to evolve, to morph, and then potentially to manifest into something even greater than what initially came to mind. Allow the input and idea of others to also nourish the idea. Help it to grow. Let it unfold. We are told in the Gospel of Matthew that Jesus said, when two or more are gathered, there I am with them. When we look at this metaphysically, we know that where two or more are gathered with open hearts and minds, there is the potential for creativity to be unleashed and multiplied beyond any previously conceived ideas. For the Christ consciousness is there, being revealed. Now it's there even in oneness as one person, but where two or more are gathered, it is there then multiplied. For being with others who value us, who see us talented and creative and capable, that ignites our inner artist, our imagination, our inner gifts. And we might find ourselves surprised by what ideas flow from us when we are in this richly supportive environment. a group of people who truly love us and honor us. Problem solving is no longer a problem, but an exciting exercise in creativity. Next steps flow easily and reveal themselves without effort. Divine order doesn't imply that there is only one order, one path, one solution, but that we possess the skills to recognize the order that is best for us. We are able to determine that which we desire to unfold in our lives rather than wait for it to be revealed by default. Yesterday was the board training and enrichment workshop for your board of trustees. We spent 7 hours on Zoom. So why did we all give up a beautiful Saturday? The sun was shining, the air was fresh and clean. Because we want to be an effective, informed, and productive board for our community, for you. And we can only do that when we learn to work together, to feel safe in expressing our ideas, even if they are not popular, to know we will be heard and loved by our fellow board members, and to move forward in knowing how to disagree with respect and to adapt to board decisions by the majority vote. For we have been blessed to have a board with members who have been part of this community for years and years and years, and who are willing to share their hearts and their ideas and to work through any difficulties which arise. For we don't always agree. That isn't what we want on a board, is just a group of people to all say yes. We want to have different ideas. That's where the richness of a group really shines, when we have differing ideas, where we share them openly and meet one another with love and respect, and find that something even greater is revealed through our sharing. Disagreement does not need to result in conflict. We are both human and divine, and our human qualities may emerge as the ego, whereas our divine qualities emerge as love. And it takes commitment and spiritual and emotional maturity to be committed to allowing the divine to be revealed, to allow the love to be revealed, no matter what. Reverend Charlene Manuel led our time together. Now, she serves on several boards, including Unity World Headquarters, on their board of directors, the Parliament of World's Religions. She's on their board of trustees. She's been a teacher and active instructor for the Unity Urban Ministerial School for 10 years. She's written 7 books, and she served for 22 years as a Unity minister and spiritual leader. Reverend Charlene did not gather us together to tell us what to do. She did not design our next steps as your board of trustees. She did not cultivate our order. She did assist us and support us in determining for ourselves what our goals are for this year, helping us design our own order, our blueprint for 2022. And the ideas and suggestions you all provided to me and to your board of trustees in our annual membership meeting just last month are pointing us in the direction for our community as a whole. Please know that we are also incredibly grateful to you for your willingness to open your minds and your hearts to us, to share your thoughts, your dreams, and your desires for our church community. For we are all sculptures in this process. For the church and for ourselves personally, we are all sculptures in this process. We hold the tools of courage and bravery and willingness, supported by our faith, in knowing that all is well, God is present, to step out with an idea. It may be readily embraced, it may not. When we have an idea, it may not even be readily embraced initially by ourselves. It takes time for new ideas to be embraced. And especially if we're asking others to join in that, it takes time for others as well. And it's up to each one of us to discern that which is ours to do at any given moment in our lives. We are the masters of determining how anything which occurs in our lives is held, what attitudes we hold about it, what values we place upon it, what meaning we give to it. The more lovingly we hold ourselves and others, the more lovingly is the meaning that we assign. Another way to see order is instead to use the term divine unfoldment. Now, looking back at my life and perhaps looking back at your life, we can see how many events truly did unfold divinely for our highest good. That's not to say that we saw it at the time. This is most probably true for every one of us. Unexpected events, situations, diagnoses, accidents, losses, none of these feel divine. None of these are welcome in our lives. Being spiritual, having faith, sincerely traveling our spiritual pathway does not make us Teflon. We are not exempted from the happenings and the events of the world. We are not immune. Stuff happens. Stuff happens, and then we make up stories about the stuff. It's in our nature. We have the need to label it, to categorize it, to try to make sense of it, even when there is chaos and no sense to be made when in the midst of it. Faith does not take you out of the problem, whatever it might be. Faith takes you through the problem, grows you through the problem. Faith doesn't always take away the pain, but faith gives you the ability to handle the pain. Faith doesn't always take you out of the storm. Faith calms you in the midst of the storm, and that makes all the difference. Rumi, the 13th century Persian poet, the Islamic scholar, theologian, Sufi mystic, Rumi said, "Do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side you are used to is better than the one to come?" It's an interesting perspective. Faith that God is everywhere present, within everything, every interaction, every event. That faith is our life jacket, our life preserver, when the storm threatens to throw us into the sea. That faith anchors and strengthens us when we need to adjust our perspective, to consider another's point of view without feeling that that point of view is going to threaten our well-being. That faith quiets our ego and allows us to walk the path placed before us with less fear and more curiosity and compassion. I wonder what good will come of this. I can't wait to see what good will be revealed to me. When we are grounded in faith, in our true believing and acceptance of the one presence and the one power expressing as us, discerning our path, the order of our lives, the order of our days, it all becomes clearer with fewer distractions and more assuredness. We grow in confidence. I invite you now to close your eyes just for a moment, if you choose, and let these words flow over you and into your heart. By the power of order, I am capable of orderly thought and action. By the power of order, I am capable of orderly thought and action. I easily adjust thought and action in response to shifting circumstances. I easily adjust thought and action in response to shifting circumstances. I am ever evolving spiritually. I am ever evolving spiritually. You may open your eyes now. We find empowerment and freedom in our ability to adjust, to shift, to flip the switch, to transform, or to modify our thoughts and actions. This flexibility, this fluidity serves our overall health, our mind, body, and spirit. Like a tree whose roots are deep, we bend with the winds, but we do not break. And we are able to perceive that the prevailing winds are love. The prevailing winds are love, love that serves us, love that wants only our highest good, love that recognizes and ignites our inner being, our very essence of love. We are the masters of the divine unfoldment of our lives. We are. May these be your thoughts this day and this week, and may your prevailing winds reveal only love. And so it is.